hunter shoots the Bigfoot in his shoulder. The strange footage of a Neanderthal caveman in our times in Mexico. Spine-chilling encounters with the paranormal in some unlikely places. Every reason not to stay at home alone, and some exhilarating encounters in the wild. These are just a few of the things we will look at. Stick to the end. Let us set the scene. A group of friends venture off on a camping expedition. Setting up camp in the middle of nowhere, the site is surrounded by a large forest and is extremely isolated. What started off as a fun night away turns into something way more sinister when a series of blood-curdling screams begin to pierce the still night air.
We're like a or something. That was a female screaming, Phil. Please, please, please. No.
The screams are chilling to hear. It is as if someone is in great pain or is being attacked. The men venture out with their flashlights to investigate the source of the commotion, but there is nothing there or visible to them to explain the origin of the sound. You'll want your headphones for this. As the men investigate further, it is evident. They have set up targets for practice, one of which is missing. The nightmarish screams continue, and it is unclear where they are emanating from.
On the ground.
They notice that one of the bottles that was hung for target practice is now lying on the floor and has been replaced by something else hanging from a rope. It is a crudely made corn husk doll. Usually, the dolls were simply childhood playthings, but in this context, hanging from a rope, it seems way more disturbing. A symbol of the harvest, the corn husk doll is also used to ward off evil. Is it possible that it is related to the screaming coming from the forest? Whatever is out there sounds as if it is enduring an unimaginable horror. Even though the men are armed with rifles, they don't stick around to find out what that horror is.
Oh, no.
If you've ever been in a house that is creepy after dark, and you are alone, you will understand what this young woman is going through. After a move to Ohio, she begins experiencing what can only be described as a kind of haunting or visitation by an unknown and deeply disturbing entity.
Puzzle I'm working on. Maybe when I'm done with it, I can send you this. Mom, I gotta go.
There are a few interesting things about what we've just watched. There is a general sense of unease emanating from the young woman before we even hear the loud thump. She keeps glancing in the direction of somewhere off camera, and she almost swallows her word when showing off her puzzle. She seems nervous right off the bat, and is trying hard to keep upbeat for her mother. The next video provides clear evidence that while she might think she's alone in the house, she's not.
There's the oven. It's kind of whack, but I put the nice towel that you sent me. Thank you.
As we just saw, she resumes the conversation, trying to keep a facade that everything is okay. She has moved to another room, perhaps somewhere she feels safer. The old oven seems to suggest that the house is slightly older, which adds to the creepiness of what follows. The story escalated quickly, as does the young woman's composure. She is no longer trying to put on a brave face. She is distraught as the house is bathed in darkness. Terrified, she lets on that it's back, which suggests that this is not the first time something like this has happened.
I think it's back.
The terrifying climax appears at the end, with a shadowy figure only made visible by two glowing eyes. The story ends with the return of a thumping sound, which we now know is whatever that entity is, knocking on the front door. She pleads with it to no avail as it continues to stand and stare at her like a psychopath. Whether truth or fiction, it makes for a frightening scenario. Two men returning to what appears to be a deserted and isolated house at night. It is unclear if the home is theirs, possibly abandoned due to what follows, or merely a site of strange activity. Either way, their behavior is odd. Pulling up, one of them focuses his flashlight at the windows. Pay close attention, or you just might miss it.
Holy what? Go.
Most towns have one. Creepy, deserted old house that has given way to neglect. Perhaps the owners grew old and died. Perhaps something terrible happened there. This is one of those houses. Note the tall grass out front. The air of abandonment. And then, so quick, you almost miss it. The figure of a small boy standing in the doorway. Why is he there? What nightmare unfolded behind those walls? Why is he trapped, unable to leave? The men seem to know that the house has a reputation. They do not get out of the car. Even when it is clear the figure is the height of a child, they do not stop to investigate. Instead, they speed off into the night, leaving us to wonder what really happened there. Watch again in the zoomed-in footage. Illinois. Zoomed in and surprisingly clear footage captures something utterly terrifying amongst the trees. At first sight, it is barely detectable, but then a figure emerges. A hulking bipedal creature stands almost as tall as the trees in the snow-covered landscape. Spotted, it begins to move. Is this a hoax or further compelling evidence to suggest that Bigfoot really exists? The scale of the creature positioned amongst the trees and the confident manner it moves in this snowy wilderness suggests that this is its home. The overall shape of the creature and the almost conical head add to the case for this being real. On being discovered, it vanishes into the trees. Chilling at home alone shouldn't be this stressful. Watch what happens in this unsuspecting encounter that really is too close for comfort.
I'm home alone, right? But
a ghostly reflection of what looks like a woman with long dark hair or something pulled over its head appears alongside the poster of the video. Shot in a seemingly continuous point of view, the image is quite terrifying, but her response to the moment is anything but. Perhaps I'd be more convinced if she wasn't so calm to her invisible flatmate. Her demeanor does little to suggest shock or horror. Does the poster just have nerves of steel? Or is it a hoax born of some editing? You be the judge. We see a lot of poor footage of Bigfoot online, which makes the videos we're showing in this episode something of an exception. This one, although zoomed in, seems to capture the creature in fairly close proximity. Pay attention to the movement of this Bigfoot. It has a somewhat different gait to others we've seen. Could this relaxed stride be due to the fact that the creature is unaware that it has been discovered? Or is that the most epic Halloween costume? On Trail Terror, we feature a number of clips of animals in their natural habitat, particularly deer and elk during rutting season. These animals display a diverse number of vocalizations that serve to not only attract mates, but warn others of danger. A Texas police officer stops at a rest stop and records the following sound emanating from the woods beyond.
Starting to regret that I stopped at this rest stop. And they say Bigfoot isn't real?
What is initially noticeable is the sheer volume of the bellow. It feels almost otherworldly. Could this be the call of a really large stag or elk? Or as this police officer suggests, the cry of Bigfoot? You're going to want your headphones for this.
What the absolute fuck is that?
This startling footage claims to capture the face of Bigfoot. The likeness to human features is incredibly disturbing, but the more you look at the sheer size of its head and the somewhat large gap between its round eyes, these features resemble something less human. Here, the creature seems relaxed and even curious as it glances in the direction of the camera. It knows it's being watched, but in turn it is watching. In other videos, Bigfoot hunters claim that these creatures often have one member who serves as a lookout to protect its family. We have showed earlier videos on this channel where similar close-ups of Bigfoot's face have been captured, but the picture quality has not been as clear. This face confirms the face captured in other sightings, supplying a compelling case for its existence. This mesmerizing and rare footage captures a close-up human encounter with a mountain lion. Watch as the poster and his family come across the calm cat on their walk. Fortunately, the kitty isn't in the mood to rip their faces off. In most eventualities, mountain lion attacks on humans are not that common. If they wanted to hunt us, they would. Having said that, never play submissive to a cougar if you wish to survive. The glorious creature remains relaxed and still as the humans admire her beauty.
Someone climbing up the wall. It's an iceman. It's a ghost. Jesus, what is that?
This somewhat poor quality footage captures a humanoid shape scaling the rock on a mountain without any kind of safety equipment or clothing for that matter. The creature shows remarkable pace and agility as it moves effortlessly further up the mountain face. Is this a nudist rock climber out getting his kicks? Or is it something more sinister? The creepy, almost ghostly white skin suggests it should be avoided. Did we mention that mountain lion attacks on humans are rare but not impossible? And that you should never run if being pursued by one but fight back if needs be? Watch this heart-stopping footage of a trail runner being pursued by the big cat.
Oh shit! Hey!
Luckily, he has the wherewithal to assert dominance, or that might have been the end of him. The problem with us encroaching on the wild is that it will have no choice but to encroach on us. Watch this nail-biting and somewhat humorous clip captured on a home security camera. Two bear intruders looking for a bite to eat are given the scare of their lives by. Wait for it. A French bulldog, showing absolutely zero fear, the little but fierce hero chases the perplexed and terrified bears like a bat out of hell straight off its property. In a display of death-defying bravery or stupidity, its Rover 1 bears 0. Two ghostly figures are captured in this footage taken at Yosemite. The weird creatures resemble a type of cryptid, but instead of the elongated body, they have no real torso. Mainly legs and a featureless head, where no eyes, nose, ears, or mouth are apparent. Note the one-dimensional nature of their shape and profile. The stilted walk that shifts to an almost ghost-like floating movement. The figures lurch down the hill in a bizarre fashion, twirling in a creepy dance before disappearing from the frame. Apart from location, there is not much more to go on. If you know what these are, let us know in the comments. In general, malls are seldom the first choice for a paranormal fright night. Those are relegated to creepy old houses or deserted museums. However, The Last of Us changed that with its utterly enchanting and terrifying mall scenes. As did this video, a night duty security guard in a deserted mall after hours has a seriously disturbing shift. It begins with sound disturbances that provide no explanation for what has caused them.
It's creepy, man. You're so freaking creepy. I don't know. Dude, what the hell was that? What the hell was that?
Followed by a creepy encounter with a paranormal entity in the food court. Watch, she captures the impossible on camera before getting the hell out of there.
These freaking chairs just moved. What the Okay. I'm done.
Clearly, no salary is worth this kind of harassment. A peaceful night at home. A woman prepares for bed when her dog spots something or someone lurking in the shadows, just beyond the living room.
Get ready to go to bed myself. What the f*** is that? What? Oh, God! Fuck!
If their reaction and hers are anything to go by, this isn't a hoax. Watch closely as the apparition appears for mere seconds before vanishing again. We're bringing you some really clear and compelling Bigfoot sightings in this episode of Trail Terror. Watch as this unsuspecting person spots the bipedal creature with its characteristic reddish fur in close proximity. There is the briefest moment where the two face, the beast alerted to the camera person by their panicked shouting. Fortunately, the shy Bigfoot disappears into the forest, avoiding confrontation. A family enjoying a snowy winter walk spot a creature in the distance, scrambling for a phone they capture through zoomed-in footage, what appears to be our elusive, abominable snowman. The creature appears to be basking on a rocky outcrop. In this position, it looks somewhat similar to a grizzly bear. That is, until it stands up. Bigfoot or Big Knot. Let us know what you think in the comments. Bears are wildly majestic and ferocious creatures, whom we featured in earlier episodes here on Trail Terror. It is unclear, based on the sound of what seems to be multiple bears and the videographer's close proximity to them, whether they are used to humans or whether these guys just have a death wish. The bears being filmed seems calm and oblivious to the camera operator as he shuffles into the water for a cooling dip. Within seconds, a man comes tearing out of the brush, hotly pursued by a large and clearly agitated bear. Despite the risk to his life, he sports a grin as he approaches the camera as whistles and gunshots are used to stall and ward off the irate creature. Tame or not, it is a terrifyingly close call. A trail cam captures a calm and idyllic evening scene. A deer foraging for greens appears close in shot. But that isn't all, folks. A few feet away from it is something altogether creepier taking place. What appears to be a totem is seen moving from the right side of the screen to the left. In two jumps, as if engineered by stop motion, it disappears as quickly as it is spotted into the forest. The perplexed deer peers out anxiously into the darkness. This video is honestly so bizarre, and unlike anything else, I cannot present any clear explanation for why this has happened. Could it be some kind of strange ritual? Or did someone steal or move the totem under the veil of night for no clear reason? Let us know what you think is going on here in the comments. This poor mother bird's eggs fall prey to a sneaky Tasmanian devil who within moments has raided the nest and made off with the precious loot. The shrewd predators, who are roughly the size of a dog with males weighing in at 18 pounds, are strictly carnivorous and have been known to feast on roadkill and even dig up decaying flesh. Known as scavengers, they will eat almost anything, including bones and fur. A quiet evening, jamming with your musician friends. One of you grabs the camera to film both singer and guitarist, but ends up capturing something less harmonious outside.
¿Qué era la mala que ponga?
Pay attention to the glass door behind the singer's head. For a second, a silhouette appears in the figure of a man. Trick of light or apparition enjoying the music? You be the judge. A blue luminous sphere-like entity is captured in this unsteady, low-res footage. It appears to be glowing independently on the sand and is not being reflected off anything. It is not at once clear whether the sighting is on a beach or a desert. Is this paranormal or extraterrestrial? Hit us up with more info. Somewhere in New Mexico, a woman spots someone moving in the darkness just beyond her window. Reaching for her camera, she captures this man taking a moonlit walk. Strange thing is, he disappears from the frame. At first, he is visible and clear as day, but then he disappears into the fabric of the night. Is this a ghost or a glitch in the Matrix? Security camera footage captures something odd moving amongst the trees, just beyond property's periphery. Watch as a shadowy figure is seen visibly darting between the trees. Although the video quality is somewhat poor, and the entity appears for only a few seconds, the creature's pale visage and almost luminescent skin tone is not unlike other cryptids we've witnessed before. Is this what the footage has captured? There is something distinctly creepy and alien about the way it both looks and is moving. Whatever you are about to see is unbelievable. This is an incredible footage of a Bigfoot fighting a bear. I am not sure if this is real or just something edited or staged. And even if it is real, how did this person manage to record such a thing and get out safe? Can you see how the Bigfoot has sheer strength and is able to challenge the bear? At a certain point, one can see the Bigfoot's facial features, and its teeth can be seen. It has a set of really long claws and a pair of distinct toe claws. As it turns, one can see its conical head, which is larger and more elongated, resembling to that of an ape. To me, this clip looks like it is from a movie. I think the Bigfoot is just a man in a very well-made costume. But if it is real, Bigfoot seems to really struggle against that bear. Imagine coming across a Bigfoot face to face. This is what it would look like.
Stop! Please! Please!
Yes, this is undoubtedly frightening. The creature is covered in a really thick and coarse hair. Its face is genuinely intimidating, having a wide and flat nose, resembling that of a human but more robust. It has dark, deep-set eyes and menacing teeth. Just imagine you would have this encounter in a forest. Just how terrifying it would be.
It's an accident.
Well, as much I would like to say it is, this is in fact not a real Bigfoot. This clip was from a blockbuster movie made in the 90s. But I have to say the costume is perfectly made to look like a Bigfoot, and anyone dressed like that would for sure fool me. In a more daunting case, this explorer decided to venture into a cave, all while recording their journey through the narrow paths of the cave. But at some point, he got lost and encountered something strange. As he walks cautiously towards the inner cave, he spots something. As he gets closer, he sees it. A tall black figure with a pale white face. This is really frightening, and the man freaks out and retreats. He is not able to distinguish what the eerie figure is, but is surely a brute you would not want to interfere with. Was that some sort of animal, like a bear, who frequently reside in caves? It looked too tall and white for a bear, to be honest. So, I am not sure what this guy saw there. This brave trio was wandering out in the night for unknown reasons. As they continue walking, their flashlight reveals a horrifying glimpse. A tall, emaciated skeletal with grayish skin creature dashes swiftly from the darkness into the bushes. Notice how the bipedal subject moves at lightning speed, but not fast enough for the camera to not catch it. The three all become aware of what has passed, and they all stop. This creature looks like a naked human being with characterized elongated limbs. I think this could be the infamous rake. The rake is known for its eerie and unsettling behavior. It is said to be primarily active at night and has been reported to stalk and watch its victims, instilling fear and paranoia. This night vision camera spotted a really bizarre creature in the grasslands. A really blood-curdling creature emerges within the grass and comes into view. See how huge it is. It has a humanoid figure and seems to be bipedal. But it looks too strange to be a human. It has a bald head, and white shaggy fur. It is evident that it has a lean muscular body like an ape. It becomes aware it is being watched and hides amidst the tall grass. It then discloses only its head, its eyes glimmering malevolently as if watching the camera. What do you think this creature is? Could it be the Russian Yeti or the famous Bigfoot? This guy was exploring abandoned houses, rumored to be haunted, armed with nothing but a flashlight when he comes across strange sounds in this one. He can be seen scanning around, and after a couple minutes of investigating, he is met with eerie sounds. Initially, he disregards them as the noises of raccoons, common inhabitants of desolate locations. However, as the minutes passed, the noises grew more ominous, and a sensation of unease crept up his spine. He attempts to figure out the origin of these unnatural sounds. Suddenly, he spots something with his flashlight. A frightening pale face can be seen, and this makes him to shout in terror. This uncanny sounds are unlike anything I have ever heard of. A look at this deer and you may wonder how amazing the sculpture is. But hold on, this is actually a live deer. A park ranger in Virginia stumbled across this deer and decided to record it when he saw it was behaving weirdly. You can see him even trying to poke it, but the deer seems to be frozen and is not reacting. It is perfectly still. Well, this is a case of the zombie deer disease, also known as chronic wasting disease. It is a type of disease that affects deer, elk, and moose, especially in their brain and spinal cord. The disease gets more serious as it progresses, and it is always fatal. One of the symptoms of the zombie disease is that the infected animals may also display a lack of fear of people, and may be more out in the open, making them more susceptible to hunting. This explains why the deer does not scamper away when the ranger interacts with it. Deep in the woods of central Massachusetts, a man has been on the hunt for Bigfoot for decades when he encountered this and put it all in his camera. You can see something moving in between the tree line. The elusive giant can be seen roaming. It stands tall at an imposing height. Its appearance is striking, covered in thick black hair from head to toe. It has massive frame and broad shoulders. See how it has a very large and conical head. The image might not be that clear, but it surely exposes the mythical Bigfoot. This man was in his house when heard something in his basement. Upon reaching, he tries to call out if anyone is there.
Is anyone there?
When he scans the basement, suddenly this happens.
Whoa, Jesus!
The shower unit at the right moves all by itself. In that spine-chilling moment, the man's instincts kick in, and he turns bolting up the stairs. These paranormal occurrences have sparked widespread curiosity on what could be causing this. I think this could be the poltergeist, a ghost or other supernatural being supposedly responsible for physical disturbances, such as making loud noises and throwing objects about. This remarkable footage was captured in a forest by a trail camera. We had to zoom in quite a bit to analyze the explicit humanoid blur that develops as we explore deeper into the footage, seeking to identify the mysterious animal and unravel its actual nature. The creature appears in a tall, hunched frame. Notably, unlike most purported Bigfoot sightings caught on camera, this particular specimen appears comparatively really huge. A certain video has gone viral, filmed by several viewers, showing a fuzzy orangish light coming down from the sky to a lake. It seems to be a long, ghostly tube running in a descending manner. As it approaches the lake, it seems to disperse in an unusual pattern. These events have led to a lot of questions. What could be causing this? Bobcats are excellent hunters. When they are hungry, bobcats will take on dangerous prey. This trail camera set up in a game reserve shows the cat's true nature. Upon closer inspection, a rattlesnake is seen lunging at the cat. Rattlesnakes are really quick when it comes to striking, yet the bobcat dodges its attacks with such agility. The slithery critter seems to have had enough at one point and begins retreating back into fallen leaves and twigs. Unfortunately for him, the bobcat knows the fight is far from over. With a few more swats from the feline and a bite to the snake's head, suddenly the reptile goes limp. The feline quickly takes the snake up the hill, before taking what looks to be a few nibbles. Who knows if the kitty decided to make a meal out of the kill, but he sure looks proud. On an exciting day of adventure, a group of hikers found themselves amidst the beauty of the wilderness. As they explored the open fields, their camera unexpectedly caught something mysterious in the distance. Far in the open field, the camera catches some movement of a black and furry figure moving along the open landscape, walking towards the right. The figure is far hence. We cannot really distinguish the animal, although the video does not show anything more, and we get a very brief sight of the creature. The hikers cackle in awe and unease. What could it be? The figure was far away, leaving them to wonder about its true nature. Was it the legendary Sasquatch, the elusive and mythical creature also known as Bigfoot? Or could it be something more ordinary, like a person with an imposing frame, wandering about in solitude? This clip shows a certain person who had spotted a bizarre creature and decided to follow its trail. A hairy and black entity comes into view, sits on the ground, and seems to be munching on something. The animal notices it's being watched and abruptly throws a stone at the recorder. Luckily, the stone was not targeted at him, but rather to shoo him off. I'm worried this guy was dangerously close to the creature, not knowing its true intentions. I won't suggest that this is Bigfoot. A Bigfoot is usually really huge than the depicted creature. This guy was out filming a survival video for his TikTok when he sees something in the corner of his eye that seemed to be stalking on him. When he points the camera at a certain spot and zooms, something in between the trees, a black hunched figure that quickly hides as if it is avoiding being seen. This man decides not to go pursue it since the creatures are not bothering him and they are on the other side of the territory. The video does not show anything else and we only get a fleeting view of the creature, but it still poses the question of whether or not he may have captured a glimpse of the legendary Bigfoot or Sasquatch. In 2005, this English tourist recorded his trip to a remarkable forest in a disgracefully neglected state. As he roamed through the eerie woods, he stumbled upon an unsettling sight. This eerie footage shows what appears to be a ghostly apparition, pale and ethereal, seemingly suspended in midair beside a twisted tree branch. The figure lacked distinct features on its face, leaving the observer to wonder in terror about its true nature. The quality of the video can be largely to blame for this, so I have no idea what we're looking at. The creature is unlike any cryptid I have seen. What do you think it is? Is it some kind of a ghost or just a glitch in the camera? This trail camera spotted an unusual sighting in a game park. A black-tailed buck comes into view. The sight of the buck's peculiar headgear draws our attention, but to our surprise, the animal does not appear to be troubled by this odd accessory. The buck has its antlers entangled in what it seems to be yarn or a couple of blue and yellow strings. This does not seem to disturb the buck and casually walks around. The other buck appears to be astonished by the unusual appearance and can be seen moving away from the other buck. I don't think the strings on its antlers will interfere with its daily activities and might fall off on its own. A vigilant ranger had installed a trail camera to observe the wonders of nature that caught this weird sighting. The animal captured on camera is undoubtedly a type of deer, but it has a mesmerizing feature that makes it truly unique. Its neck is gracefully elongated, stretching upward, and its antlers were unlike any typical deer antlers. Could it be some sort of disease or infection to the antlers? There are, of course, bucks with very large and strange antlers. Some people even breed these for big antlers. Could this be a genetic mutation we are seeing here? The following video shows a man out of curiosity decided to follow something that was lurking in the woods. Amongst the trees, something can be seen strutting. A large and black bipedal creature with really long arms. These descriptions perfectly fit the Bigfoot. The footage is hazy, and we cannot get a perfect glimpse of the monstrous figure. However, it is important to approach this video with caution and skepticism. In the age of advanced technology, it has become increasingly easier to manipulate and fabricate footage. It is possible that this video could be a cleverly crafted hoax or a creation of special effects. When you normally place trail cameras, it's usually only an opportunity to see animals that may be found roaming on your property, and this camera caught this young and enthusiastic bear fumbling with a porch swing. The adolescent bear is intelligent enough to recognize that the bench is for sitting on and tries to climb onto it, but it falls clumsily to the ground. You have to admire the tenacity of this little bear. Most children, given this same situation, would be in tears by now, but this little honey picker just keeps trying. You do have to wonder, whenever the little ones are out playing, Mama isn't usually far away. That's the only thing I find a little eerie about this video. Many people believe that animals cannot become ghosts. It seems rather absurd since they're living beings with a personality, life force, and intelligent energy that can remain behind after they are gone. This spooky piece of home security footage shows what appears to be a ghost cat scurrying across a front porch. One can see the transparent shape of a feline walking across their deck. Our bewilderment grows when you notice that the animal seemingly dematerializes as it crosses the porch. Is this all real, or could it be a glitch of the security camera? This video features a supposed Bigfoot captured on video in Baxter, Tennessee. This man catches a glimpse of a thrilling moment. A figure can be seen stalking around. The video was perfectly captured in the right moment, where the large creature can be seen as if trying to hide behind the tree's trunk. The man in the background filming is captivated and asks his counterpart if sees what he's seeing, whom he's also aware of the happenings. The unknown figure casually wanders around, conscious of being watched. At once it stretches its arm, and it becomes really strange how its arm is very long. The creature can easily be mistaken for an ape, but surely it's too big for an ape category considering the fact it is bipedal. This video is pretty convincing that we are in the presence of the alleged Bigfoot. In this video, a man records what he claims to have been a Mexican caveman in Cabo, Mexico. In the clip, all seems normal, but as he zooms to a certain point, we can see a cave opening and we get a glimpse of what made his thoughts run wild. Standing at the cave entrance, the hunched figure appears. It looks like a shirtless man, and even it can be seen turning its head side to side as if it's scanning its surroundings. Its shoulders are really broad and has some sort of extended arms. This eerie creature appears to be tall as its height is equivalent to the cave's opening. After, it proceeds back to its cave unconscious that it is being watched. The video is blurry and does not provide full descriptions of this creature, but it is truly a humanoid being. If it is really a caveman, then one would wonder why it hasn't evolved in the modern era. Suppose you are a fan of cryptid creatures and have adequately researched them. In that case, this picture sure needs your thoughts on the identity of what it has captured. A trail camera in Florida captures a bizarre image deep in the forest. The image is that of a creature invoking controversy to its identity, either the baby of a Bigfoot or the baby of a skunk ape. These two creatures undeniably resemble each other, as they both have human-like and ape-like characteristics. From the image, the beast has an ape-like face and a coat of thick black fur. It appears to be standing on twos like a human. Which of the two would this creature belong to? The owner of this store decided to preview his security camera footages when he was met with very spooky events. In the following clip, one can see the monitors on the table hitching. Then suddenly the chair moves by itself and propels into the air. Then is banged down to the floor. This happens consecutively. Whatever that is messing with the chair and monitors also seems to be affecting the security camera. What happens next is surely unnatural, as some black liquid pours on the ground out of nowhere. The other camera also captures the same, on top of a table in another room. As if this is not enough, we hear eerie growls in the haunted place. Out of the paranormal activities I have witnessed, this is the oddest and blood-curdling. These occurrences are very scary. I think this place could be haunted by a very supernatural ghost. A poltergeist, I suggest, as it is known to be the one of the noisy ghosts. It is said to have the ability to move or knock things over, make noise, and manipulate the physical environment. Another frightening aspect of the poltergeist is that the events usually start out slowly and mildly, then begins to intensify. Well, this one is surely an intensified version of it. As the store owner, what would you do after witnessing such a scene that would make your blood run cold? A woman decided to take a quick snap video while working. After reviewing the video, happens to catch a bizarre sighting.
So I'm going to attempt to show you this video that my boss's granddaughter caught up on his property, which is kind of up in the mountains a little bit. You tell me what you think it is.
In the clip, all is normal until when the video is slowed down. At the far end on the right, a creature can be seen jumping from a tree and quickly runs into the bushes nearby, as though it does not want to be spotted by the woman. It moves with such lightning speed that one is unable to spot it. Its body is covered in a thick brown fur. It is bipedal, as it runs on two legs. This footage makes me wonder if the creature could be the mysterious Bigfoot or maybe a glitch of the camera. This video shows multiple clips of the possible discovery of the famous Bigfoot by a trail camera in the forest. The first clip is taken at night, where a mysterious dark figure stands amongst the trees. The figure is unclear, but we can see its tall, towering stature. During the day, the footage is a bit clearer as we can see the creature walking around the area. Although its face is not clearly seen, its tall features and thick fur make us believe that we are in the presence of a Bigfoot. This man has been having day camps in a forest, and he always spots stalking creatures. He even comments that they are very curious ones.
And, man, it seems like this always happens out here. They're very, very curious creatures.
In the moment, the creature appears once more, and the man documenting says it's right behind him.
Curious creatures. That's for sure. Check this out. I'm going to show you. It's right behind me.
Amidst the trees, a black figure can be seen moving. We aren't able to quite make out what the creature looks like since it is covered by the trees. What I can tell from the video is that it is a tall animal and could be covered with black fur. I think maybe it is a bear. This security camera set up in a vantage point caught a sinister happening in the backyard of someone's home. A man and a girl are seen walking in the dead hours of the night. What's even more shocking is that the man seems to be guiding the little girl towards the forest. When examined more closely, we can see a tall humanoid figure luring them into the forest. See how the figure lurking in the forest is unearthly, containing really long arms and has a pale and emaciated form. Could this girl be hypnotized and kidnapped to be used to perform some sort of cultic activity? The owner of this video immediately reported to the police after seeing this video, though, up to date, the girl is still considered missing, this being the last place where she was sighted. What do you think happened here? Two hikers in Ohio encounter an animal that was creeping up on them and decide to record it. Within the serene at a distance, two dot-like glimmering objects stand out in the dark and maintain a steady gaze on the hikers. One of the hikers distinguishes it from a deer and says it's likely to be a predator.
Right there.
Yeah.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, that's not a deer. What the devil is that? That's a predator. Its eyes are facing forward.
Oh yeah. Oh, what that is.
Oh, draw your weapon.
Notice how wide the eyes are. It is during the night, and they cannot make out what the creature is, even after zooming. Most animals have eyes that glow in the dark due to a reflective surface in their eyes that help them see at night. This explains what these two hikers were seeing. Wolves are known to hunt in large packs, but this one decided to take a solo trip. In a snowy land in the middle of the night, a trail camera catches a failed nocturnal hunt as two deer escape a wolf. The deer appear running away from a forest in symphony. After the deer had gone, what startled them appeared to be a wolf that was hunting them, aiming for either one of them to be a night meal. The wolf suddenly stops in its tracks, as though it has lost the two deer. If it wasn't for the keen senses of the deer, one of them would have been the wolf's meal. A man walking in the woodlands near a riverbank is shocked by a creature spying on him that was hiding behind a tree trunk. He was recording his walk, and after taking a few turns, he stumbles upon a black figure staring at him. At first, he doesn't recognize due to some branches that were obstructing him, but as he slowly moves away from the branches, we get to see it. A tall and huge figure can be seen leaning to its side. It is ape-like, and it is covered in rich black fur. It suddenly retreats behind the tree, scaring the man as we see him retreating away in the opposite direction. We aren't sure of what it is due to the low quality of the camera, but its presence surely does make one quack in their booth. To me, it doesn't look real, since we can't see the rest of its body. Maybe it is some kind of Halloween prank. This guy was daring enough to take an adventure in the middle of the woods at night alone, and is met by something lurking in the dark. As he shines his flashlight into the forest, he sees the reflection of the eyes of a big animal relentlessly staring at him. This sends chills down his spine. Just then, a towering pale shadow swiftly passes between the trees, going in the right side. We cannot understand what the figure is due to the darkness. Our attention immediately shifts from the uncanny presence to the queer sounds that rent the air. I don't know where these sounds are coming from, but I'm pretty sure it has to be associated with whatever that's creeping out in the darkness. This video was taken in Northern Ireland. The paranormal activities that are shown are bound to blow some minds. In the following clip, we can see a rock hinge to other rocks, moving as though it is closing a door. Whether the rock moved on its own, or was moved by a creature closing its door, remains a mystery. It could be a phenomenon that has been happening on our planet without our knowledge of its existence. Some people have attributed the massive door to mythical giant Finn McCool, a giant that is well known in the Irish folktales. A curious nature enthusiast places some eggs in front of a trail camera to see what kind of animals it would attract. Certainly, this fox was lured by the eggs, and it can be seen carrying the eggs, one after the other. This clever creature does not leave any egg, and it takes all of them. He can then be seen clasping an egg in his jaw, before nonchalantly strolling away to enjoy. This behavior is not uncommon for foxes, as they are opportunistic predators known for their cunning and resourcefulness. The video captured by the trail camera provides valuable insights into the behavior of these elusive creatures. It serves as a reminder of the fragile balance. The following video has sparked controversy all over the social media. This video shows a creepy woman doing something extraordinary in a way that almost looks like the work of the supernatural. The footage is taken inside a house where a woman appears below one of the pillars and begins to climb it, as though a lizard would walk effortlessly on a wall. She is surprisingly fast and appeared to do it without exerting much effort. After climbing the pillar, she walks on all 4 limbs. Once she reached the 2nd floor, she moves while crouching down and then starts poking her head out of gaps in the wall in a bizarre manner. This clip is quite peculiar since the woman isn't acting like a normal human, but rather like an animal. What would you do as the owner of the house after seeing such footage? This video has caused a stir in the Bigfoot community, with many people claiming that it is the best evidence yet that the creature existed. Some skeptics have dismissed it as a hoax, but the man who captured the footage was convinced that he had seen something real. The creature does have Bigfoot qualities, as it has a coat of thick black fur, walks bipedally like a human, and has a conical-shaped head resembling that of an ape. It doesn't seem to have taken notice that it is being followed. The person captures 2 clips of the creature, and in one of them, we see how the Bigfoot walks, and it appears to be too large to assume it to be human. While exploring in the forest, someone stumbled upon a creature that had an odd look, and at first it couldn't be recognized. As they record and get close to it, its appearance becomes rather clear that it has a brown body and elongated neck. In its movements, it took notice of the person and began to stare as though threatened. It later lost interest, and as it turned to walk away is when we saw that the creature was a bird, since it had a beak. It hasn't tucked its wings to its side like a normal bird would do. Rather, it has let it down as though indicating that its wing is hurt. Or maybe this bird has a rather unique anatomy, and it is a kind of bird species. Fear strikes this man as he goes out to investigate something mysterious that he claims to have seen and heard in the middle of the night. However, he did not quite visually identify this puzzling creature. Only with a flashlight in his arms, he walks around shining the flashlight in front of him, trying to find out what this creature would be. After a few turns, he is able to see the creature, which appears to have been hiding from him behind some bushes. It takes notice of the man and stands up while making a strange sound.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
The man behind the camera is clearly spooked and can be heard gasping in fear as he flees away from the imminent danger. What could be this creature the man stumbled upon? The following video is rather amusing. A wolf's keen sense of smell caught something interesting, and it decided to follow the scent to its origin. The trail camera recorded the wolf sniffing around a particular area of the forest. It did not seem to move away from this particular spot, as though it had stored something there. At first it was convinced that what it smelled was underground, and so it decided to try and dig around. It then paced up and down, sniffing the region, intrigued by what caught its nose. Wolves have a very good sense of smell, and they use this as a way of communication, in a way to recognize pack members. This video shows that even giant cats, after fully growing, can show signs of their playful nature. A trail camera in Black Hawk, Colorado, recently recorded a mountain lion as the kitty cat explored the mechanics of a swing. The video shows the feline napping under a swing before taking an interest in the object above its head and gently pawing it. The wild animal jumps up when the swing starts moving. It seems to enjoy the swing's movement. The tree swing in the woods was built in hopes to film bear cubs. Instead, it captured acute footage of a mountain lion turning into a playful kitty. Of a thrilling moment. A figure can be seen stalking around. The video was perfectly captured in the right moment, where the large creature can be seen as if trying to hide behind the tree's trunk. The man in the background filming is captivated and asks his counterpart if sees what he's seeing, whom he's also aware of the happenings.
Do you see that? Do you see that? I'm afraid. Oh my God.
The unknown figure casually wanders around, conscious of being watched. At once it stretches its arm, and it becomes really strange how its arm is very long. The creature can easily be mistaken for an ape, but surely it's too big for an ape category. This video is pretty convincing that we are in the presence of the alleged Bigfoot. Though it is not quite clear, we can take a guess and suggest that this could be Bigfoot talking a warm stroll in the forest during the day. In the ocean depths, a footage uncovers a shocking discovery of a creature that has an alien-like appearance. Fishermen who dispatched a camera along a chain to explore the ocean deep recorded a strange orange creature that could not quite be explained. It had the head of a jellyfish and tentacles extruding from its bottom side. The creature seems harmless. I have never seen anything like this. It could be a member of the jellyfish family that we don't know of, or it could be an alien that landed at the bottom of the sea. What do you think this mysterious creature could be? If you want to see more strange footage, then watch this.